that sucks so bad. Borderlands was like one of my obsessions for a while.
And it's not like bad, like, oh, it's bad, but no, it's not the best movie, but it has redeeming quality. No, like, nobody likes it.
Yeah.
Oh no! Is
not
it
even
like,
the director.
Are we talking like Sonic's real human teeth bad?
No, it's just there's no passion. There's nothing behind it. And people are saying that you can tell it was shot for like an R rated originally, and they cut it back down to PG-13. So it's like the editing is just
why? Everybody that played Borderlands, I was definitely like, you were fully in the R category.
And that there is visible difference where you could tell there's been reshots where like the actors have physically aged.
Oh no!
You can't cover it up, you know?
Like Tiny Tina's a full foot taller.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh god, that makes me so sad. I really loved that game so much. But then again, I'm still sitting over here like in denial that like one day we'll get a BioShock movie. One day.
I don't know, man. I feel like video games just shouldn't be movies at this point. Like, a show has a chance because you can, you know.
Oh my god.
Do a long run for it.
How good would a BioShock show be? Oh my god. Oh my god. Shoot it on the same stage as, what was it, like 1899? That show?
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. Which is another show we're probably never going to see again, but was so good.
Yeah. I started rewatching Mindhunter. Anyways.
Oh, wow.
Right,
that's a deep dive.
Yeah.
Dork. I started rewatching Veep, and I was just like, this is just like a play for play of everything for the last like 5 years. Whoops.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like Office Space, where it's like, this was a comedy, but not a tragedy.
Like, oh yeah, like Idiocracy. It's so painful.
I told Andrea I watched Idiocracy for the first time in a long time. What, like 2 weeks ago or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
And it was painful. I was like, oh
yeah,
no.
Including the fact that like the stupid shoes that everybody's wearing in the movie are Crocs. They were legit like the first like showing of Crocs, because they were like, how dumb are these shoes? Look at these stupid fucking shoes. Who's gonna wear these stupid ass shoes?
Everybody.
I mean, it's just the filmmakers like 18 years ago. Like, what?
There's no fucking way.
Could you believe this shit? Oh man, I'm so glad this will never happen. As they look at the camera.
There's just Jim in the background deadpanning.
Let's get this party started.
All right, Tuesday Day Dawning. Okay,
all right,
got that one out of the way.
Ready?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Let's do this.
And welcome to the episode of Talk of Opportunity.
You cut out so hard I couldn't hear you. I didn't know what to find my bears.
Alright, welcome to the episode of Talk of Opportunity.
Just immediately clipped out.
We're doing the calm ASMR episode. We're going to talk in our best
NPR voice.
Thank you.
Hey everybody,
You understand what I'm
welcome
going
to
for.
Opportunity.
I like how it's just your forehead every time you go like close to the mic. Just...
Yeah, it's a big brain move right there.
Yeah.
Why does my microphone smell like my dog?
Oh, but as a reminder, this is a podcast all about tabletop RPGs, board games, Dungeons and Dragons, Lancer, and all things geeky that we like to talk about, books and movies and video games.
Yeah.
It is Sunday, so today we're doing a podcast episode according to my calendar. With me, as usual, Andrew and Heather, our spookitologist. Is that the new title?
Resident Spooky Girl is also
Spooky
viable.
Girl. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's the one I used before. And today we're doing another episode on Beyond the Manual, where we compare the... See, I struggle because I want to say real life, but it's not necessarily real life, but like real life mythology versus the...
I mean, it's mythology.
The historical basis.
Occupy.
There you go. How many of these have we done and I still don't have it down?
It takes some explaining, I don't know.
That's true. And today we're talking about the Fomorians, which I don't think I've ever used in the game.
That's okay,
but
Wizards of the Coast never used them either, so...
But with that, let's play that intro music.
So after that brutal assault by the Orc warrior, the initiative now goes to you.
Jose, what do you do?
I'm gonna cast. And we're back. Oh wait.
Yay!
Okay, now we're back. Yay! All right. As you can see, we already got Heather drinking.
All that Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, this fine aged Coca-Cola right here.
I'm drinking a Monster because we're talking about
On ice. On ice.
Impressive.
Could not wait for it to be chilled.
Monster on ice on a frosted glass. Now that's
Oh
close.
yeah.
you could hear the Creed in the background.
I was like, I think palpitations. I'm sorry, palpitations. Is that you?
Yeah, no shit. Oh, all right. Well, I don't really do a lot of introductions for this one because I mean, Heather, it's all you.
Oh yeah.
Are we doing? Do we do monsters or the mythology first? I can't remember.
We do monsters first, so we can get an understanding for as much as wizards wanted to put into the Fomorians and how much more they actually had laying around.
Yeah,
it's probably like one paragraph.
I mean, there is material to work with when it comes to Fomorians because there is a bit of a backstory with them. In the Wizards of the Coast verse, the Fomorians are currently considered the most wicked and hideous of all giant kind. However, they were previously, still wicked, but not quite hideous. The reason why they became hideous was because many thousands of years ago, they were actually considered one of the most beautiful races of giant kind. And they were also very prestigious in spellcasting. However, they coveted the natural spellcasting nature of the Feywild, and so it kind of explains that they tried to overtake the Feywild. How exactly they did that? Were they native residents of the Feywild and then got banished, or did they actually like assault the Feywild through other means? It's not entirely clear. However,
how did I not know that? I fucking read Storm King's Thunder.
I was gonna say either way, it's still knocked out of the ordning, and you don't fuck with the Feywild. You just don't.
Right.
I mean, it's to the point that like whatever befell the Fomorians, they're not even in the ordning. They're just like, they're in they're in the grease trap of the ordning. Anyway, so they tried to lay siege to the Feywild to conquer the elves and whatnot, and establish themselves as the ruling spellcasting race. However, in doing so, the elves casted a curse on the Fomorians to where their inner cruelty and hatred would show on their outer selves. And as such, they all became deformed, and like some of their limbs became elongated, and eyes started protruding from places that shouldn't be. And because of that, the narcissistic creatures were driven out of the Feywild and actually underground, presumably so they wouldn't have to look at each other. And ever since then, it's been like death on sight for either side. Like if an elf sees a Fomorian or a Fomorian sees the elves, like there's going to be bloodshed.
Nice.
Because they've been driven to the Underdark. They do what people in the Underdark do apparently, and that is slave labor. They take on slaves.
Today's topic.
Yeah, slave labor.
Oh God.
Slavery.
I mean, we're still on lore accuracy here, so let's go.
Yeah. In the Underdark, it describes that the Fomorians live in surprisingly beautiful caves, probably owing to their giant nature. Where they're like, hey, we might look like shit, but we can at least pick the place up a bit.
They've raided enough elf camps at this point. They've picked up some good stuff.
However, it's described that when their slaves are no longer physically able to work, the Fomorians just eat them.
Oh no!
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, just to, I don't know, maybe boost the morale for the rest of their labor.
I was gonna say, waste not, what not.
Yeah, and the Fomorians take a particular delight, and whenever they encounter or whenever they overcome an enemy, they take a particular delight in meticulously disassembling the enemy and then restitching it back into a horrible amalgamation of what it once looked like, as like a sort of form of mockery. Now, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Fomorians, it actually describes that due to their like twisted nature and like how their arms and like spines are deformed, they actually aren't physically able to hurl rocks like other giants. So instead, what they do have is that they have something called the Evil Eye, which is like the last remnant of their spellcasting ability, where they can use that in lieu of an attack, and the target has to make a charisma saving throw, and if they fail, they take a certain amount of psychic damage. It's actually quite a bit. However, they can also impart some of their own curse onto a target, where it's like a stronger version of the Evil Eye called the Curse of the Evil Eye. And if they fail the charisma save, not only do they take the psychic damage, I believe, but they also become cursed with the same deformities that the Fomorians have. Which,
Bam, you ugly now.
Yeah, like you like things start like, I don't know, like bulging out and shit like that. What's really funny is that
I have 13 toes.
What's really funny is that the curse goes away after a long rest. So it's like while you're sleeping, it's just like everything just like pops back into place and whatnot.
Oh no!
I wonder how painful that is.
I like to imagine that all the extra things just like fall off, and you just wake up next to like a shriveled arm the next day.
Mm-hmm. But it also describes that because of their physical deformities, they're not capable of wearing much armor, which I guess justifies their low armor class. These guys are surprisingly squishy. Low armor, but because they are giants, it's a big old bag of hit points.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's just pretty much common giant stuff. Like they can hit with a big old piece of wood. And then their ranged attack is the Evil Eye. So
I will give these guys like a little bit more spells.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably, I don't know if I would
cantrips, since they can't throw rocks at you. You know what I mean?
That one is so funny to me.
I mean, if they're describing them as spell casting, I would give them some spell casting, because what's it? They have,
nothing high level.
Well, I mean, actually, all of their like mental traits are kind of crap. But I mean, just slap a 10 onto that 6 charisma that they have.
Oh wow!
Or like or like bump up the intelligence or something. So, and then just give them some like wizard spells and call it.
Or even just boost their armor class if they're supposed to be so like deformed. I'm imagining like thick hide, like
Maybe.
thick skin.
Could be. I mean, I think that's the problem we bitch and moan about with every giant is that they literally just come down to big bag of hit points. That's all.
I mean,
at least
Beery's a big bag of hit points, but she's still useful.
Yeah, I know, but Beery also has abilities. Like a giant is just like, do you want me to hit them right here or over there? That's pretty much their only abilities. So,
do you want me to put this guy into the air? I can do that too.
Yeah, I mean, just I don't know. I feel like giants are a giant letdown. Sorry.
Whole book of giants, nothing but bad news.
Maybe that'll change with what is it called? 1D&D?
Yeah, okay. Anyway.
You mean 5.5?
Yeah.
No, it's 1D&D because there's no more editions anymore.
But
that's a bad idea.
Yeah, right.
Anyway,
that's a conversation for another time.
Yeah. I can't wait for like another 5 years from now where Wizard of the Coast tries to roll that back and be like, hey, remember?
Yeah, just kidding. We're on to 6th edition now. Ignore everything else we've done in between there. 3.5 never happened.
Yep. All right, so that's pretty much it for the manual Fomorians. They were pretty. Tried to fuck with the elves. Found out.
Don't fuck with the elves,
ugly.
bro.
Don't fuck with the elves.
So, all right.
Okay, that's pretty interesting because it is weirdly like an amalgamation of all of the story that they're actually based on, just kind of like compressed into one. Just all of the details get lost along the way. Some people take on other forms. It's definitely like very similar, but it's a lot more interesting. Okay,
What
so
are the Fomorians? What mythology is it from?
so this is actually Irish mythology. Some chroniclers say that it dates all the way back to like the 1897 BCE to like 1700 BCE. A lot more people think, yeah.
I thought you said 1897 AD. So were the Fomorians part of the Troubles?
You know, they are often actually said to be like amalgamations of stories of Viking raids from the 17th century.
Or the British.
Or, you know, laundry list of people. Just a whole bunch of people fucking around. But the Fomorians in particular are the embodiments of darkness, chaos, and barbarism in Irish mythology, often the antagonist to the divine group, the, Tuthe de Danann, which I'll just call the Tuthe de. I had to learn how to say very Irish words, so I apologize in advance because it's not going to sound great. But derived from the Old Irish, their name is interpreted as meaning the undersea ones, great underworld ones, or underworld demons. Their tale kind of shifts, but they're usually described as like having arrived in Ireland from like distant islands or from ocean, like deep ocean caves off of the coast. So no matter what, they're always spooky, supernatural beings. They're described as being monstrous giants with deformed and grotesque semi-human features, often described in tales of as having extra limbs, hugely exaggerated features, twisted forms, or with their aquatic beginnings, they usually will end up having like fins, gills, scales, massive teeth. They've also been sometimes said to just have the body of a man and like the head of a goat. Just their form. Yeah, there was one that said they had one head, one arm, one leg, and that's it. That's all they got.
And that one was all right.
If that was it, I'm just like, you could just like, boop. They can't get up.
Yeah, right.
So what was the plan with that one?
Just to say, what the fuck's up with that guy? What is this? That's the only reason he exists. That's the comic relief guy. Either way, there's supposed to be.
So they're all different, or is it just
they're all
different descriptions?
Very different. They're all said like there's no one unified look to the Fomorians. They're all twisted, and they all have their own special grotesque features. Either way, the underlying theme is they're big, strong, and evil, and war crimes mean nothing.
Oh, and they're ugly.
Oh yeah, big, grotesque nasties.
Interesting.
Yeah. On the other hand, these are people you have to know for this, or this is a group you have to know for the story. The Tuthe de Danann is often described as the tribe of the goddess Danu, Danu being one of the goddesses of the pantheon in Irish mythology, or simply as godfolk or god kindred. They are renowned for their intellect, advanced abilities, and collection of magical items. They straight up sound like every D&D party once they've hit level 20. Like, this is their after playtime. Or I should say level 15. There's still some learning that needs to happen.
Where they're making their way into town, like, let's crash the economy.
Yeah. Oh my god.
How does the economy hold up to an adventuring party?
It doesn't. Anyway. It doesn't ever. That's why the campaign has to end, because we can't see the aftermath of what we've actually done. No. It's like cutting out the entire Egyptian aftermath of the Mansa Musa tale. Like, we're not going to talk about it. He only destroyed the economy.
Yeah, 10 towns fell into an even further hole of economic backlash.
Oh god. As long as it all happened to Dugan's Hole, we'll be fine. So yeah, they're often described as being immortals, mythical heroes, sometimes as angels, because their best known feature is that they are powerful, like their powerful goodness of character, truly. Like their embodiment of light and versatility, technological advancement, and just goodness. So they're the exact opposites of the Fomorians for our wonderful tale here. So of course they're gonna have to battle at some point. But the coolest thing about the Tuatha Dé Danann is that J.R.R. Tolkien was said to have based the elves of Lord of the Rings on them.
I was about to ask, is this like the elves and orcs of like? No, I wasn't thinking Middle Earth, just like in general.
No,
in every fantasy world, like they're literally the opposite of each other.
Yep, exactly that. But they are said to be the basis for the elf of Lord of the Rings. They are just perfect.
Don't ask George R. R. Martin. Don't ask George R. R. Martin. Don't ask R. Tolkien because he'll deny it.
Yeah, like no, never heard of that.
Inspiration? Me? Never.
I saw multiple sources talking about this was like the basis of these guys. So I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna roll with it. It sounds right. They literally arrived out of the mist in Ireland. Come on.
No, it probably is. It's just that R. Tolkien doesn't like to admit that he was inspired by anything.
Anything ever.
I mean, come on, it's fine. You're not a fraud, you know.
Is this inspired by World War I? No,
absolutely not. Not this bog full of bodies. It cannot be at all inspired.
What?
Never
heard of it.
Gandalf does not say un ne passe pas. All right, I don't care what the fuck they say.
Oh, sweet goodness. Yeah, so that is my one like Tolkien pop up here. That's cool. Obviously the Fomorians are very reminiscent of orcs of that world. Like they're always twisted, deformed, underworld dwelling, super evil.
One okay.
Yeah, remove the tallness and then
Era OSHA standards.
So hold on. You might have already gone over this, but the Fomorians in real world mythology, are they just
Irish mythology?
Real world. Last I checked,
Ireland is a real place.
I mean, depending on your point of view.
It's funny. So you know what's the funny thing about the Irish right now with me is that for some reason one of our websites keeps getting attacked through an IP address in Ireland, and I didn't know. So one of our texts like sends me the IP address. I look it up. It's like, oh, and all I type back is like, oh, I see. The Irish, and then
but are the Fomorians of Irish mythology, like, are they just people sized or are they also big?
No, they're said to be like these massive hulking giants. I'm gonna say, if we're talking D&D terms, like a Goliath size, not quite like a true giant. We will get to the true giant in this story shortly, because you're gonna be very familiar with this guy.
And the Tuatha Dé Danann?
Tuatha Dé Danann.
Tuatha Dé Danann. I probably said something massively inappropriate by saying it the wrong way. Anyways, but
don't worry, I'm probably not.
Are they also like the same stature, or are they like?
They're very much described as being human-like. Like they are. In the mythology, it's sometimes not even describing them as true gods. They're sometimes just seen as being like, there's some of them are immortal, some aren't immortal, some are just hugely intelligent.
Because I was wondering if maybe that was like the basis, maybe like a little bit for like the Empyrean monster, which is like described as like the child of a god, and it's like this like beautiful statuesque like giant thing, you know. But okay, anyways, I just wanted to throw that out there.
Is it a rule on the internet that if you have a really good source material website for like mythology or like history, it has to be the shittiest website possible?
Yes.
It has to be terrible. It
Like, if it's-
guaranteed has to be awful.
Yeah. If it's like early 2000s web design principles,
Because
then you know you got the good stuff.
The people are too busy to care about web design. They want.
Yeah.
I mean, this is mythology that's hundreds of years old. I mean, there's. You're lucky you got a site from the early 2000s.
Yeah, you're right. My bad. It's funny because I'm just like I'm reading for like pictures and like some of the terminology that you're dropping,
Yeah.
and like every single website's like the ugliest thing I've seen. I'm like, oh, all right.
I
Information's
found
there though.
I found a really good video on YouTube that had some fantastic photos, but they were definitely like mostly AI generated, but still they got the general vibe right and it worked.
I mean, some of these pieces of art and paintings is pretty cool. It's just
Yeah.
the layout and the website design stuff.
Oh,
is-
yeah,
it's
no,
very early 2000s.
Anytime I look into that, and it's like a very basic website, I'm like, oh yeah, we're in the
Yeah.
good shit now.
I want to clarify, I go through probably like 10 different sources to compile down to create like a more interesting story sometimes, but
No, I hear you. It's just funny because I click on like the top like 5 links, and all of them are just like
so busted.
visual nightmares.
Oh yeah, this is the torture I go through for you guys.
That's oh yeah. Did you get to like the Irish version of the History of Brittenham website?
Oh yeah.
Holy,
Uh,
this is
Which
like
virtual
go to Ireland. I hit
Emerald
all-
Isle, is that the one?
no. Hold on. I'll
I hit
put it
that
in
one
chat.
too.
Emerald Isle is pretty good though.
Alrighty, so you have
Just
a few
gaze upon
characters you
his
guys need to
majesty.
know. Oh yeah. Okay, so you have a few characters you guys need to know for this particular story, because we are now
Okay.
going to discuss the battles that made Fomorians etched into Irish mythology and history.
Okay.
All right. Top people we need to pay attention to. The groups include the Tuatha De Danann,
Okay.
love them, the Fomorians, Balor, the one-eyed embodiment of destruction. Balor was said to be the most monstrous of all the Fomorians, with a single eye that spread destruction when opened. This is sometimes described as being everything from a massive, like, laser almost to a poisonous stare that would literally poison every living thing in its gaze.
I think we already went over that one, didn't we? Like in a previous
Balor?
episode? I think so.
How do you spell it?
It sounds familiar.
Balor.
Hmm.
In the
Yeah, like, no, it's
manga.
we haven't gone through, but it's a monster from the monster menu.
Yeah, we
I
talked
think-
about King Belus of Libya last episode.
No, I don't know. Maybe I might be misremembering, but it does sound very reminiscent of something. Anyway.
Oh yeah, I mean, I know Ballard pops up a few times in different stories because he's just a good demon
Yeah.
dickhead to throw out.
Also, R.R. Martin. I keep saying R.R. Martin. Damn it! R.R. Tolkien didn't take inspiration from this guy either. No way.
No.
No
not even
way.
bit.
No.
Not this guy.
All right, you also have Nuada, who was the king of the Tuatha De Danann, and Bress, the half Fomorian prince, son of Iriu of the Tuatha De Danann, and the Fomorian prince Elatha. Very important character that we need to pay attention to for a little bit. So,
Okay.
as the story goes, one day the Tuatha De Danann arrived from the mist from distant islands to conquer Ireland. They brought with them magical weaponry, advanced crafting technologies, and knowledge beyond anything that had ever been found in Ireland up until this point. They arrived ready to claim their new lands. They first encountered and defeated the Furbolgs in the first battle of Mag Tuired. Tuired? We're going to go with that. And took possession of Ireland. However, this massive battle left many of their kind wounded, including the leader, King Nuada, who lost his arm in the battle. And in this mythology, if a king wasn't physically perfect, if he had a deformity, lost a limb, anything like that, he was no longer eligible to rule, seeing it as being a blight from... It's actually pretty common in some Middle Eastern like nobility.
Mhm.
I've definitely heard of this happening before, where say if they had some sort of disability like blindness or even a limp, if they had a twisted spine, like with the, as we see in
Scoliosis, stuff like that.
yeah, exactly. You can't rule anymore. You're ineligible. God has decided, nope, not you, and that is seen in that physical deformity.
Huh.
Not cool, not okay, but and it has been proven that it really not a great idea. But since Nuada was no longer eligible to rule, the half-Fomorian prince Bress took over the throne because he was basically the only one in line that could take it over, and it was seen as the way for them to form a peace with the Fomorians and the Tuatha Danann. This didn't work. Bress sucked. Bress sucked so hard. He turned out to be a complete tyrant. He forced the Tuatha Danann into essentially subservient slave-like roles, and also to pay heavy tributes to the Fomorians. So nobody cared for this. As Bress grew more unpopular, they sent the Bard in. They decided that Caribri, the poet and bard essentially of the Tuatha Danann, would enter King Bress's court and basically just start voicing all of the complaints of the Tuatha Danann, like, hey, your hospitality sucks. You never take care of our weaponry. You really suck with this whole tax levying thing. God, why do you suck so bad? Just destroying this guy day in, day out, singing, speaking his poems nonstop, literally driving Bress up an absolute fucking wall.
There's something about like a near divine race having to worry about taxes.
I know.
Guys, we gotta put it back into the infrastructure, okay?
Yep. Guys gotta pay the Fomorians more. We need more, we got a lot of deformities to pay for right now. So many extra limbs, we gotta get custom shirts, the whole thing. So Bress continued to get berated about neglecting his kingly duties and responsibilities to all of the good of Ireland, not just to Fomorians. Some say that Bress eventually just snapped, lashed out at the poet, and the fantastic bard with a ye old magical harp sought his revenge by enacting a curse on the king that created pustules and boils all over the king's body, thus making him imperfect and no longer eligible for the throne.
Boom. Found the loophole.
Boom. Don't fuck with the bards. Never. Either way. Others say that this poet was just so scathing that he literally created satire in Ireland and just tore Bress so down that like he couldn't come back for. Like you got burnt, so he had to pull a Drake and leave the country.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry.
I like to imagine it was just a rap battle.
Either that, or it was like the most before he like discovered that he could be funny. It was like the lamest jokes.
Right, but people were like, "Oh!"
He's like, "Hey, you ever put too much pepper on your potato salad?" This guy knows what I'm talking about. Oh shit!
With a good few like yo mama jokes.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Your daddy's so dumb he high-fived his extra arm. Okay. So after Bress had basically been ruling for about 7 years, suddenly King Nuada, former King Nuada, showed up with a fully formed arm.
Oh.
Totally fully formed arm. The Tuatha Danann god of healing and the god of metalsmithing came together to craft a new magical silver arm for King Nuada. And upon discovering that Bress was now deformed, throne's now mine, bitch. Like, get out. This is it. Nuada took over. Bress was immediately ousted and exiled.
I have to say, if a presidential candidate had a silver arm, I don't care what
Oh.
party they're affiliated with.
So we're voting for the Winter Soldier now.
Oh yeah. Well.
yeah. My vote goes to Guts.
Totally stable guy.
Super awesome.
That's interesting. So it's all that's. I wonder what this was like. The root of it is like the whole like you can't rule unless you're perfect. And it has to have like some real world. You know, like
It's
something. There must have been a really deformed king or something.
That was actually yes, especially in English history. Like that was a part of, was it Hamlet? Anyway,
you know, I actually don't.
Because I mean I know that a lot of like royalty like it's known through not just English but like even like pharaohs and stuff is known for inbreeding and being deformed at some capability. Like it's just interesting that the Irish were like, no, fuck you.
I actually haven't.
Well, I mean, you also have to think that like, the whole inbreeding thing is to keep the bloodline pure, quote unquote.
Well, it's more to keep the power consolidated.
Right.
In some instances, it was bloodline things, but it was definitely about consolidating power. That was why they would start, family trees to become wreaths.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not a good thing.
No,
But
that's why every time I meet somebody with like a big ass shin that goes out, I'm like,
yeah.
They got that Habsburg look about them.
I had one friend who had it, and I'm like, oh, you're royalty, bro.
Oh no, the Habsburg chin. Nobody wants that.
But it's like,
God.
it's so weird that like this like cult of personality thing has existed since then. Because you would think like back then when it was like, no, we're fighting with sharpened pieces of metal at each other. You would think a king that has obviously gotten some battle scars like probably knows what they're talking about. But like I don't know, it's weird.
But if
like,
you're really deformed, like I guess losing an arm along those lines would be seen in like real world context, not mythology context. Would be seen as like you weren't blessed by God in that battle. God decided that you gotta go. He took your arm. You're lucky you walked away with your life.
Yeah, I can see that. It's just interesting. I mean, the whole, now you're deformed. I'll come back in. Look, I have a perfectly silver arm.
I have also heard other like historical stories of, I want to say it was the Ottoman Empire and certain parts of Middle Eastern dynasty, essentially, that they also had a very similar rule that if you were deformed in some way, like there was one specific instance where a like person that was up for the throne was blind and he couldn't rule, even though he was probably the best one for the job. Right. But it is very like it was a very common thing of like it was just seen as you not being blessed by the heavens, right, or you weren't eligible in any way, because if you were, right, then why didn't God give you all the goodness?
Right. Why are you perfect?
Yeah.
I guess it makes sense.
Anyways.
Yeah. Either way. So back to it. Bress was exiled. He went off crying into the darkness. He fled back to his father because he wanted to go full mouth. Yeah, so he fled back to his father, the Fomorian prince Alatha, and demanded help restoring him to the throne. And his father basically said, oh, yeah, you have no right to take what you couldn't keep. Nah. Flat out, was just, nah. If you couldn't keep it rightfully, you're not going to get to take it in, like, wrongfully. Whatever. Yeah, so his father told him to fuck off and go talk to Balor. Which is just great. Okay. Papa's like, nope. Bye. I'm having a good time over here.
Go talk to your Uncle Balor, and meanwhile just off in the distance.
Exactly that.
Destruction raining down.
Exactly that. So he went off to his far more war-loving Fomorian leader, who helped him to raise an army, or raise Balor's own army, and prepared to lead them into the second battle of Toret. Yeah. Yep. So this is going to get into the weeds a little bit because we have to introduce a couple more characters. But the Two-Headed Anan also prepared for war under another half Fomorian leader, Lug. His father was Cien of the Two-Headed Anan, and his mother was Balor's daughter, Ethnui. Yeah. These are such hard names. I want to clarify.
It's okay. I won't even attempt to pronounce them.
So, this entire dynastic marriage was presented like earlier stories to basically be like this was one of another peacemaking arrangement. So Balor got to marry a Two-Headed Anan. All that's good and fun. And then he also had children who were still married to the Two-Headed Anan. So it was just a continuous marriage arrangements trying to make peace happen. But eventually Balor was given a prophecy that he would be killed by his own grandson. So he locked his daughter, Ethnayu, away in a glass tower to keep her away from any men.
Classic.
Which is just great. Which is just great. But Balor crossed some other people. So those people got revenge by going into the tower with the help of some druidesses and basically Cien, this guy who decided to get his revenge by going into the tower, seduced Balor's daughter, resulting in her becoming pregnant with triplets.
Oh.
Yeah, instantly. So Balor ordered that all of these children would be drowned. Again, classic mythology rules. 2 of the babies were either killed or turned into the first seals of Ireland, which is a fun one. But only
animal?
Yes.
Oh.
Yep. Which is also fun because that goes into a whole nother Selkie mythology that we could talk about later that I would be very excited for.
Somebody looked at the baby seal and was like, "Oh, it's so cute." That was probably a god at one point.
Yeah, he's just sitting there like, "Fuck you," into the water.
That's interesting. I didn't see that one.
I love what's like, oh, hey, Dad, where do these things come from? I don't. It was a fucking god at some point. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. I like to think that it was like a. Yes. All of this mythology was a dad who didn't have any answer. He was just tired of the kid asking questions.
I like to imagine that's even worse after the first seal hunt.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, oh yeah, this is like a baby god over here. It's cool. It's fine.
Yeah, what's the worst that could happen?
Yeah, whatever. It's like a demi-semi god. We don't care.
I mean, why? Why the fuck were they turned into seals? Just
as I am assuming the druid was involved in this one, who helped Cien enter the glass tower. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes that happens in mythology. To save somebody, you just gotta transform him and chuck him into the ocean. That's just how it goes, baby.
Yeah. When you have the power to, why not? You know.
I mean, yeah, but I'm just like, where's the through? It definitely feels like tired parent energy, where it's like, if I tell you what an actual seal comes from, will you shut the fuck up and let me sleep?
Why do they look like they could almost maybe possibly be related to humans? I don't know, man. I don't know. A god turned this guy into this thing, and this is what we got now. Can you just shut up?
Baby seals look pretty cute, though.
We don't have coffee yet in this era. I don't have patience.
Please don't talk to
Coffee was a doom full of mythology.
Please don't talk to me until I have my morning plague.
All right. So, anyways, so turn into a seal.
So yes, 2 of the children were turned into seals, or outright murdered. But Lug, being the third in this triplets set, was actually given away to another set of Two-Headed Anan to be fostered until he came of age. He was actually raised, I believe, by blacksmiths, and the blacksmiths for some reason always end up creating some of the best warriors out there, as it always goes.
It's funny because, like, without realizing it, for some reason, every time a kid that is not the blacksmith's son is brought up by a blacksmith, either they become a hero of some sort, or like they find a Kingdom Come Deliverance. Oh, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you know,
Blue-eyed samurai. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Come on, it happens every time. If you want your kid to be a great swordsmith, give them to a blacksmith for no apparent reason.
Yeah, just, why is that?
I don't know.
Like, why? Like, why? Well,
keep going. I'll Google it.
I assume I'm gonna say you have to deal with a lot of different kinds of weaponry. You have to know how to handle it to be made correctly.
And I mean, and you obviously have to be physically able to do blacksmithing. You know.
Yes.
Maybe because
all the muscle.
Wasn't blacksmithing like considered like one of the best careers?
Yeah.
As a peasant.
Yeah. It was stable. It was a solid skill set. Alex is convinced he was a blacksmith in a past life.
I can see that.
Yeah, I can see that too. Yeah.
But I mean, like, I think it's because like blacksmithing was one of the things where it's like as a worker, you can actually work your way to a sort of like esteem where like you know you're not going to be shoved like shit for the rest of your life. You could be, you know, it's like a craftsman thing, you know. So I don't know, maybe.
If I remember correctly,
and when you're crafting weapons, I mean that's a very big necessities in, you know, those times.
And if I remember correctly, there were like points in history where Ireland and Scotland were some of the best like goldsmiths in Europe.
But
didn't last long, but there was a point.
But I mean, if you look at like a lot of mythology, there's almost always a blacksmith god of some kind, because like, hey, you know, we didn't make these shovels, like they didn't fall out of a fucking tree. Somebody had to make these. So
you didn't win that war with imaginary.
Yeah, exactly. So you know, it was probably just a highly coveted like thing.
Smithing was just so core to the idea of building a society that you had to have. Yeah, I mean, every culture had a smithing god. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because you had to think about it. Without blacksmithing, there wouldn't even be like a civilization. Like it would literally just be sticks and stones. So
hey, I didn't find the answer to the question, but I did find 5 reasons why you should be a blacksmith.
I mean, pretty good cardio. You're based in sauna half the time.
Yeah, it's timeless. It's useful. It's beautiful.
It's unique, satisfying.
It's a unique hobby that can become a full-time gig.
Satisfying ASMR.
We watched way too much Forged in Fire. Alex was on in for a minute. Yeah.
I mean, you guys have the space out. You can probably make a small little forge. You know who had a forge, Andrew? Do you remember Ryan back home?
Oh my god, yeah, I can see him.
He was a blacksmith, and he had a tiny little forge he made himself, and he was making knives, bro.
Hell yeah.
Go on.
Alex gets the forge. I get a kiln. As we were talking about, though, Lug, our lovely guy here, who's half Fomorian, had this whole crazy childhood, almost got murdered by his grandfather. All right, we're caught up. Lug gained entry to Nuada's court through his mastery of every single art, and was given command over the army after battling with Nuada to show his prowess as a swordsmith.
Okay, all right.
Yes, there was a reason. There was a reason.
I'm master of all the arts. Look at all these beautiful paintings. I can sing and dance.
Yeah.
You're going to be the master of war.
I want to say there is nothing that made me happier than learning that in Irish mythology, people who were fantastic crafters were like literally gods. You have no idea. As a level 99 crafter myself, I am so excited.
I can see that.
On my pantheon.
You know, there was one Fomorian. It's like, how can we automate this?
Yeah,
blasphemy.
That's the Fomorian that suddenly got way hotter and became a half Fomorian, and they're like, whoa, there's something else now, bud. That was the thing. All of the half Fomorians, by the way, gorgeous. Only pretty Fomorians, except for a couple of princes.
I discovered a way to automate this process and remove the craftsmanship of it. Boom! Lightning bolt, and there's like a little seal where they used to be.
I feel like this is the running gag of when somebody from like Wales, Scotland, or Ireland does anything great, they're suddenly now British. Like if they do something really good, it's like a running joke. They're like, no, that's a British now.
Right.
As he's explaining the automation process, the Union Jack slowly fades.
Oh
in the background.
We'll eat mashed peas. And
and that is how the West India Company was formed. Or East India, sorry. Ooh,
Let's
way
harvest
off.
all these spices and then never use them.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Anyways, sorry, we keep going on tangents because it's so wild.
I know.
I mean, you're also making fun of the British. You know, you can't.
and as my DNA test says, I am 73% English or some shit. I'm gonna fucking roll with those jokes. Either way, so Lug leads the Tuatha into battle. Balor and Bress lead their forces of the Fomorians into battle. When the two forces met on the field, it was said that to attack the Fomorians, it was so fierce, it was like striking your head against a cliff. Putting your hand in a serpent's nest or facing fire. Just all out, nonstop, carnage, brutality, awful stuff going on. So, at some point in this battle, Balor opens his big fat poisonous evil eye and he kills Wada. Huge strike to the Tuatha. Very upset. Lug sees this happening and he has to face his grandfather, the person that he said it was prophesied to kill.
Oh.
Lug, with no other weapons but a goddamn slingshot, picks up a fat rock, slings it into Balor's eye with such force it shoots Balor's eye out of the back of his skull, killing Balor then and there, sending all the Fomorians running.
Hold on, is that written that way?
That is written that way.
All right, that is much better. Much better than David and Goliath or whatever fuck. Bible? Christianity? Judaism? Please bring more details, okay? I'll be more interested.
Yeah, exactly. I want to know how Goliath's skull got fucking caved in. You know?
I want visceral descriptions.
And lo, someone said, "Bro, check this shit out. It was so fucking sick. I was right there, man." David fucking no scope this dude. fucking head popped like a watermelon. Man, it was fucking sick.
I'm on such a loud, like, I read this and all Alex heard me say was, "Oh shit! Oh!"
The fact that his eye went through the back of his skull, like,
damn, Lug. Okay.
But I mean, like, if you ever seen someone that's like skilled in a slingshot, use a slingshot, it's like, oh, I can see how this could kill a guy in one hit.
Yeah. No, it's terrifying.
Oh shit! They can hit the fucking eye with it.
Oh my god, just blew it out. Like I watched videos on this. Animation was great. Such a good time. So good. Either way. So after Balor fell, the Tuatha just pushed the Fomorians so far back that they pushed them literally out into the sea, defeating them entirely. So the Fomorians lost the lands and were then exiled off of Ireland forever. That's it. Fomorians suck. They had to get out. Sorry.
Bad.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to know what happened?
What do we learn? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Do you guys want to know what happened to Bress, though? Old King Bress?
He turned into a seal.
So we have two options for this. I fucking wish. That'd be great. Well, it's... One option is like, womp womp, okay. One of them is great. So, first one is he was found unprotected on the battlefield by Lug and pleaded for his life. He freaked out and he said, Lug, please, no, don't do that to me. I saw what you did to Balor. Don't do that. And Lug promised to spare his life as long as Bress promised to teach the Tuatha agriculture. For some reason, Bress was the agriculture guy.
Okay.
Wait, I know how to harvest wheat.
We're all knowing.
Again.
Aren't they supposed to be like technologically advanced? I don't know, agriculture. Isn't that like isn't that like one of the first things you have to research in civilization in order to like advance?
Yes. I mean, hey, Ireland is a very different climate than probably wherever they came from.
Lug, I know you and I don't see eye to eye right now. That's not a pun, but I have saw how your people do some harvesting, and I have taken notes. So if you want my help on that,
if you want to get rid of that powdery mildew, I got you, bro. But
do you even know what chaff is?
Oh my god, has anybody ever told you about the birds and the bees? Because please let me tell you. No. So that's the womp womp option. Yay, Tooth and Day get agriculture, but we want some blood. We want some gore. So in other accounts, I mean, after what he did to Balor, come on. So Bress's death is often described still at the hands of Lug, but Lug had to do something very particular that doesn't make much sense. Lug made 300 wooden cows and filled them with a bitter, poisonous red liquid, which was then milked into pails and offered to Bress to drink this. Bress, who was under obligation not to refuse any hospitality because it's a very large thing in the era and mythology, drank it right down, and it killed him instantly.
Oh,
what?
Okay. What happened to the rest of the cows?
I don't know why it had to be 300 cows, but okay. In other accounts of this, it said that these sewage, not any sort of bitter red liquid. It was just straight sewage.
Can you imagine having to stand on the sidelines of that? Where like Lug is like, I need someone to make me 300 wooden cows and fill it with a bitter red liquid. Why? Yep. You'll see. Just follow me.
You'll see. We built one. Why do we have to fill up all 300?
And then after Bress dies, the craftsman's like, I'm still confused on what's going on.
Yeah.
Like that.
Why 300?
I don't know.
This illuminated absolutely nothing for me.
Honestly, so many accounts of this story, Bress was just like shoved off into the sidelines, and they're like, yeah, we don't care. Balor showed up. Like, let's focus on this guy. Nobody gives a shit about Bress after he's thrown.
I mean, as you should, but it's just like it doesn't answer any questions. In fact, it raises more. Why 300? So why wood? And why did you fill them with potentially sewage?
What do these look like? I'm imagining very much like a Minecraft cow.
Yeah,
very like, big, blocky, made of wood, lots of splinters. Like, what are you milking? Yeah. First off, like, what is the ice that
is
milks?
such a weird.
Look,
that is such a weird fucking detail. Like,
I know you have a lot of free time, but you could probably be putting this towards something that's more like this is why we can't harvest.
That's a lot of poisonous material. Like, I have a lot of questions. Maybe there was something to do. I missed something, but maybe it had to do with like they were going to be gifts to the Fomorians, so they'd poison a bunch of Fomorians. That would make more sense, especially if they are just known for chomping things down without looking.
I don't know. I just like I feel like this is like mental work that you could be putting to something more productive. That's a lot of wood for 300 cows. You do realize that? How many houses?
I have found, and I have a feeling it has to do with like these stories were told, retold, told again, and then translated 18 different ways. 100%. I feel like we've lost some things in translation because there are often times I'm reading these stories and I'm like, but why?
Just turn them into a
Come on, just slap a seal on that.
Yeah. There's obviously been precedents about turning them into a seal. Just turn them into a fucking seal.
Yeah. So yeah, that's about it. That's the Fomorians. That's Balor. That's the Tyrdanen. That's a whole pantheon setup of Irish mythology for you. And no, it does not make much sense. But God, is it a fun time?
I was gonna say, I was like, I feel like I went to a trip and I don't know where I landed.
Honestly, I felt the same exact way, and there are times where I feel that way in these notes. Like a Banshee, that's a big, like, clean cut, boop, boop, boop situation. This There's
Yeah.
much. And
So
there's
many
so
questions.
It just
stories and tales.
We came in with some questions. We left with even more
Yeah.
questions.
it felt like mythology that was created by David Lynch. Where you're
I mean,
just
I
like,
know that.
wait, hold on, credits.
Yeah. We just all got cut off like the last scene. Brandon just what?
Yeah.
watching breasts drink from the 300 cows. You're like, wait.
So
Freeze frame on that while like the credits scroll.
I will give the book Fomorians the ability to turn people into seals, baby seals.
Well,
I want like Fomorian plus, like just the next upgrade of Fomorian, but you get some of Balor's abilities. For some reason, you're really good at gardening. Like you're just a fantastic gardener.
Yeah.
I mean,
and for some reason in their layers they have wooden cows. That from now on, that's just gonna be lower now.
Guarantee.
I mean,
Yeah, they're all beat up and old too. You can tell they've been around for a while, but they've kept like family heirlooms.
Yeah. There were 300 of them.
Like,
we all got one.
Like just like have a little quest where you're supposed to rescue the princess from the glass tower, but have like a little like fetch quest where it's like, oh, there's an optional like find one like you find a golden cow and a number says 1 out of 300. Like I'm
300.
You just immediately write it off.
Oh god, I definitely just imagine like a copyright patent on the bottom just says breast milk right next to it. Yeah, I had to say it. I had to. It's right there.
It's got our seal of approval.
Just two seals. Two seals and log at the bottom, like, yeah!
Oh, this is so bizarre. I love it.
It's so fantastically fun. I'm currently reading a book of Irish and Scottish mythology, but associated with plants, and like the plants associated with all of that. So it's weird though. Every story at the end of it, I'm like, I'm balls right now. What do you mean? The trees and the river attack? I'm very confused. What is attacking him? Is it everything or nothing?
I think this might be the first time that we went over mythology that I genuinely cannot wrap my head around. It's like, oh yeah, a snake god that churns the ocean to stars into a butter or something like that. I kind of get that, but like this one,
you're lucky because I had about 4 hours where I was just like, what in the fuck am I reading? Because I had no basis for it, like understanding of like these stories in my brain. So I'm just like,
this kind of tells or created the myth had like the Stephen King problem where it's like they know how to make a story, but they don't know how to stick the landing.
Yeah. Also, I like to apologize to our Tolkien because I talk shit about him pulling inspiration from this story, but honestly, he made it into a cohesive story. And I'm very good at that.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I mean, again, all of these stories like shift, and some of them are told very differently.
Yeah.
And overall, generally the same story arcs, but the details get fucking fun.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't say weird, but fun, but strange, and
I think it would have been really cool if Denethor made the people create 300 cows filled with sewage. That would actually probably be in line for someone who's batshit crazy.
You know, and I thought the similarity was crazy when they started with like the songs of their life and time, and after reading this, it seems that actually makes sense.
But I mean, what I would personally do is I would take specifically the part where they rescue the princess from the
seal polymorph.
Yeah.
Anyways, but the part where they where they have to rescue the princess from the glass tower, and I would probably turn that into like a small mini adventure.
Yeah.
But instead of like,
it's only when you have a bard in the party because somebody has to seduce her. That's just how the story goes. I'm so sorry.
Obviously.
Yeah.
And since it's made of glass, people can see everything. So
that's a lot.
But then probably have a fight with a Baelor, but not like like, oh, it's a Fomorian with like no, like like pull it from the actual fucking book. Here's Baylor.
Oh god.
CR 19, 262 hit points. Baylor.
Yeah.
Like,
Weakness.
All right.
Weakness. Slingshot.
Plot twist, you just hooked up with Baylor's daughter. Oh no.
Because I mean, it just rings of like a classic. Like, oh, we have to, like the princess is stuck in a glass tower, and she's been prophesized to, give birth to the person that's going to kill the evil king. I mean,
A classic tale.
Yeah. Yeah.
A
Tale
tale
as old as time.
This time. Yep.
I mean, classic. Oh, I'm good.
Let's imagine that whoever uses a slingshot gets like a +10.
Oh
He hits
yeah.
the belt. Yeah, it hits the belt. But if it misses, it hits the glass tower and the princess dies.
I lost my mind that this entire story ended with Balor getting fastball specialed. As the person that plays Beery, my brain was so happy.
Fucking headshot, dude. Just
Oh my god, let's do this!
It just
Oh,
does like
yeah.
a sniper elite like slow down. Like,
the eyeball for some reason is still intact coming out from the
I like to imagine it's kind of like wrapped around like a little buckeye, just like through the head.
Yep. That's amazing.
and then
That's awesome.
And
That's a critical. That's what's funny.
I'm deeply apologized to anybody of like that has a better understanding of Irish mythology than me.
Oh, yeah. They're gonna come in and be like, actually.
yeah, it's either actually or like no, that's it. No,
I love how delightfully unhinged it feels because again, we've heard all of like Greek mythological stories for so long that their weirdness has just kind of like he
Right.
turned into a swan. Fucking
Right.
But this is so delightfully unhinged and new that it's just so good and weird.
I want a house rule now that every time you kill a Fomorian, you have to roll a d20, and if it lands on a 20, they disappear in a puff of smoke, and there's like a little baby seal.
The cutest baby seal ever.
Shit, what do I do with this now?
You come out of like that layer of a bunch of Fomorians, and it's just like a bunch of baby seals.
And that's now you're making it. Now you have to rescue all the seals, or
Yeah,
you're a bad
and they
guy.
keep 'em. When you squeeze them, they squeak.
Eyeball gold a little bit.
Oh, man.
Past that, Fomorians were never really from. Again, there are some mentions that they might have had to get defeated by, the early Irish king. But past that, they fucked off to the sea, and we never had to deal with it again.
Interesting.
Yeah,
It's just
I know.
it's just such a weird like no they went away. But what happened?
Yeah, they're not coming
They
back.
went away.
They went
Stop
away.
asking questions.
Yeah, a lot of it was like it basically was like we purged them. Like, oh, that's not cool. They had to tone that down later on when things changed politically. They're like, no,
Right.
we didn't totally slaughter an entire race. No. Whatever happened.
No, they went away on their own.
Yeah.
They chose to fling themselves into the ocean.
Oh man.
Yeah, so that's it, guys. It gets so much weirder. It just gets weirder.
Yes,
Like-
I love it.
Like I said,
If there's any people that are experts or even remotely like used to being
Heard these stories growing up. or
familiar with Irish mythology, please let us know how close we are to it.
like I said, we are completely totally off the mark or nailed it.
Yeah. Honestly, this is a new one for me. I'm really pushing to like English, Irish, Scottish
Right.
mythological stories because they're really fun.
Yeah, I can see that actually.
Yeah, there's druidesses involved. There's also like it's great, and it's like every god of the pantheon is involved. It's not just Zeus putting his dick somewhere.
Yeah,
Great.
right.
Right. That's Greek. What does Greek mythology boil down to? Zeus fucking everything.
Yeah, I really
Yeah.
just want like mythological book, but every tab with a like there's just little eggplant tabs of like these are all the points where Zeus fucks something he shouldn't.
It's like whenever you read Greek mythology, there's an unspoken countdown for when Zeus gets involved. And it's like, yep, there it is.
There was a beautiful woman. All right. Is it Aphrodite or Zeus? And Zeus. Okay, cool.
Yep, there it
is. And now Hera. Oh, okay. And no, somebody said that she was more beautiful than Aphrodite. Oh shit.
Oh no.
Oh no. Yeah, I find it interesting too because the gods of Irish mythology seem to be pure beings of good. Like, yes, they still make mistakes. Yes, they're not like perfection, but their whole thing is that they are beings of goodness. They make the right choices. They do right by humanity. That is not at all what Zeus is about. They're all fucking around and finding out, except for Hera, who finds out every time. Constantly, like.
Yeah, I mean, they're obviously not without flaws, but yeah, definitely, I would probably go, like, if I had to pick, probably leaning more towards Irish mythology than Greek.
Yeah, I'm going. Those are full lawful good. That's lawful good right there. They're like
nice, simple, and clean.
Yeah, I mean, granted, their storylines are chaotic as hell, but
yeah. But
oh, really? I couldn't tell.
They're all about the goodness. They have their set rules. They have, like, you don't cross this line.
Fair enough. I've been charged by King Lug to, help craft these 300 wooden cows. Why?
Yeah.
I never really thought about that.
Yeah, I got
but I'm almost done.
All I got was very detailed other design.
Hey, look, I don't get paid to ask these kind of questions.
I got paid to build, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The king wants 300 wooden cows. I deliver 300 wooden cows. We all go home happy. Okay.
Yeah, I got paid. They get paid.
That. Like, yeah. They're also porta potties. So.
Yeah, I also need you to shit in these cows whenever you get a chance.
All right, my group of god folk, please come over. I need all of you cows.
Does this mean that the cows had like a saddle that looked like a toilet seat on them?
They do now.
Oh, excellent question.
I was gonna.
See, that's why we have Andrew here asking the right questions.
On the back, that just looked like a spot on the cow, but it was a hole.
Just 300 cows, people. God damn it.
That's what we took away from this mythology.
We did all of the things. We got stuck on those 300 cows. Well, Bress, no matter what, was going to die, but it was really sad how it was just womp womp how he died either way. They were just like, yeah, we need to write you off real fast.
Yeah, somebody didn't know how to.
like I said, this all screams of like a really tired dad after working like 18 hours in the field or something like that, and like he's just making shit up, It's just like
minor heat stroke going on.
Yeah, and the king made 300 cows, and a lot of people like shat in them, or I don't fucking know. Are you asleep yet? Oh God. Okay. So.
Oh, thank God. Okay. How many cows do we have? We have 300. Okay, yeah, he had 300 cows. Why 300 cows? Just the fucking number. It's a number.
Because I fucking said so. Alright, go to sleep.
Oh man.
Alright. Yeah. Do you guys have any weird questions about this?
Leave it down in the comments.
No.
Also,
I don't have answers, so it doesn't matter.
I don't have answers.
Like I said, it was like mythology if David Lynch made it.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Heather, for bringing us this amazing knowledge that now we have. We don't know what to do with it, but we have it.
I mean, it's here. It's out in the universe now. Thanks.
Welcome to my life. I have a lot of knowledge I don't know what to do with, but it's there.
I love it. Well, thank you everybody who joined us today for this episode. If you like the content, if you like the stories and our silliness, please leave a comment down below on our YouTube. Also, please make sure to follow us on Spotify and Apple and everywhere that you listen to your podcast, and join us on Wednesdays when we play Dungeons and Dragons. But with that, you guys have a wonderful rest of your week, and as always, keep on gaming. See you guys.